Absolutely. All is well to the Mobites and the Moors.
What's your name?
King, a.k.a. Mr. CHIRAQ.
Okay. And where you from?
Chicago, Illinois. 60649. East Side Murder. Big Fins, Terror Town.
Okay. So what's it like growing up in Chicago?
You know, it all depends on what area you grow in, but the area I grew up in, shit, it start off kind of like, if you're familiar with Africa, it kind of start off like a child soldier. You know, you're going to have the OGs in there putting you to work, putting you to good use because of your adolescence and your ability to be able to evade the law at that age and not get charged. They put you to work. You know, you out there holding security, you out there holding guns, you out there selling dope, holding sacks, all types of little shit putting in, you know. And then you got your own little shit you trying to do with your little niggas and shit. So it's a crazy world out there. You got the police on you. They don't care what age you is. They coming to see about you. You know, I grew up in a household that was divided. My mom, she had a little drug problem. My father, he was absent. So, you know, it was just me. I was the oldest boy. So I had to kind of figure this whole shit out by myself. Now, my younger brother, he had something to look up to. You know, something to aspire to be like. But me, I had an older sister. You know, I wasn't looking up to no girl. So I had to figure out life by myself.
Was you ever involved in gangs?
Oh yeah, I'm a Black Peace Stone.
Okay. What is the Black Peace Stone?
Black Peace Stone was an organization started back in 1958 by brother Chief Malik, aka Jeff Ford, and it was a political organization designed to kind of uplift black people, you know, to get us out that situation that we was in back in that era. And you know, it slowly, due to corruption and infiltration of the system, you know, they kind of deteriorated the cause and defiled our movement, but you know, it was always built on a righteous cause, you know. And honorable brother Chief Malik, you know, he went to prison back in the 80s for conspiring against the government, the United States government, with a foreign government to commit attacks. So that's how that organization started.
Is he still in there?
Absolutely, he's still
in prison.
Yes, sir.
After how many years?
Over 20. And you know, he had already did bids before that. So
okay. So what age did you get involved with the gang stuff?
I'm gonna say I was 8, 9 years old when I started really trying to admire it. But I was kind of born into it because my moms, my uncles, my grandfather, they all part of this Black Peace Stone Nation. So it was kind of passed down to me. Okay.
What could you explain to us what that entails, being part of a gang?
Being part of a gang, it's like being, like you say, it's a nation. You know, it's like every street gang is kind of like anti-government due to the fact that we got our own laws and policies. We got our own creeds. We got our own codes of conduct. We got our own constitutions. We got our own flags and symbols and all that. So it's kind of like, you know, you separating yourself from everybody that surrounds you. You know, everybody else going in one direction and you saying, hey, look, I'm going to go in this direction. You know what I mean? Because I'm seeing that the direction that these brothers going into best suits my situation and what I'm trying to accomplish in this world.
Okay. And what is that constitution?
You know, I don't make it seem like it's just some old holier than thou situation that I got into. I got into it for the drugs and the violence and the mayhem that was being set forth by the brothers.
So you liked all that?
Yes, absolutely. You know what I mean? I was a young, misguided, without a father type young guy. You know, a black man without a father is hell to be reckoned with. You know what I mean? Out there. So, you know, I ain't had no teaching. So the streets raised me. They taught me how to be a man, you know.
Did you have to commit any violence?
Absolutely. You talking about like mandatory or just being part of the street life and the everyday factions?
Everyday.
Absolutely.
Being part of the street
Absolutely.
life. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Anything you can tell us about?
You know, I did all types of things. I did robberies. I did, you know, assaults. I shootings. You know, all types of little different things. I done did it all. My gangster resume is very, 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 you know, fully equipped. So.
Okay. So you've been in prison?
Yes, I done been in prison. You know, sold drugs. You know, did a little prostitution. You know, pimping prostitutes. I done did all types of things. So.
How many times you been in prison?
3 times. I've been in prison 3 times.
Okay, and when was the first time? How old was you?
I was 17 when I went to prison.
For the first time?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and what was that for?
Robbery, attempt murder, and home invasion.
What did you get for it?
I got sentenced to 12 to 25.
12 to 25?
But I only had to do 9 years, 9 months off of it. But towards the end of my bid, I got classified as STG. I was part of a security threat group, which is the Black Peace Stone Nation. Mm-hmm. And I got put in solitary confinement. And they kept me 4.5 years past my release date. Strictly because of my classification. Mm-hmm. So
So you're not doing 14 years then?
Absolutely.
So from the age of 17, you didn't come out till you was 31?
Yes, sir.
And then
right before 31, because I got out in January of 2010,
okay.
And my birthday is in February. So.
Okay, Aquarius.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got out right before I turned 31.
And your second prison sentence?
6 years. It was 6 years. I went in 2 years later, and that was 6 years. So I got out in 2018.
And what was that for?
That was another armed robbery and assault, aggravated assault. So and I got armed robbery, aggravated assault, aggravated assault on police officer. I got caught with stealing police car because I jumped in the police car and took it on an 8-mile chase in their car when they pulled me over. I killed a police dog because they put the police dog on my leg, and while it was in the midst of biting me, I poked both his eyes out. So they had to euthanize the dog, and in euthanizing the dog, they charged me with the body. So, and then I fell into possession of a firearm.
And what did you do for that then? How many years?
Oh, that was the total. All that was total wrapped up into the 6 years.
So altogether,
right? I
got like 20 years in prison.
Yes, absolutely.
And how old are you now?
41.
41. So half of your life has been spent in prison.
Exactly half. Right down the note.
So what's it like being in American prison?
It's very, like I said, I got some footage of me being in prison, and it's very wild. It's every man for self unless you're part of an organization, and even if you're part of an organization, it's y'all against everybody else. So it's wild in there. Bloodshed, it's corrupt. The staff is with the same gangster shit that we are part. You pay them whatever they want, and they'll turn their head or look whatever direction you want them to look in. You know what I mean? So
the violence in there is real. Extreme.
Like on steroids compared to what you normally would see in a violent situation. Okay. Because it's ungoverned. Like, it ain't nobody watching you. It's like you get to do what you want to when you want to. So It's extremely violent.
Okay, so is it true there's a lot of gang rapes in prisons as well in America?
Nah, man, that's them 80s niggas, man. Them 80s niggas on back. That was that shit, man. 90s niggas on up. We kind of put an end to that. The laws and policies of these organizations that we part in forbid you to be any type of homosexual. If you ever get found in any type of homosexual as a black peace stone, you get the death sentence in jail. You won't make it out alive if you get caught in any type of homosexual activity as a black peace stone in American prisons.
But is that just for the black peace stone?
Absolutely not.
All other gangs as well?
Not all of them, but majority of them. Not all of them, but the majority of them.
And who's the black peace stones in beef with?
The black peace stones, we beef with any nigga under the 6, GDs, vice lords. I mean, not vice lords, GDs, BDs, black gangsters. We are allies with the Vice Lord Nation. We allied with the Bloods. We allies with the Latin Kings. You know what I mean? So we got a nice little allyship. But the way we conduct ourselves and carry ourselves, we kind of like the fathers of our organization. So it's like we like the granddaddies. I don't care how old you are. If you're in the room with a black peace stone, he gonna kind of have a more mature way of carrying himself than every other organization. Because we've been around longer, we've been doing it longer. So the way we raised and cultivated in it is a lot different from the way the other street organizations raise they members and shit. It's like instead of being raised by a big brother, we raised by a grandfather. So you kind of the mind state. Like imagine if you was raised by your grandfather and I was raised by my big brother. So most of the organizations, they kind of got the mind state of a person raised by a big brother, and we kind of got a mind state of person that was raised by their grandfather, but a grandfather that's part of this gangster shit.
Get it?
You know what I mean? Absolutely.
Get it. So what is the 5-star and a 6-star for someone like myself that doesn't understand?
Like I say, the 5-star and the 6-star. The 5-star represents the nations. Like I say, each point represent different things. I can't just spit it like that over the airwaves like that. But you can probably Google it anyway. If you go anywhere and Google what the meaning of the 5-point star is, or the Google what the meaning of the 6-point star is, it'll tell you exactly what it is. But by me being an active member, I just couldn't spit that literature out there like that without having to, face consequences with my brother. So I can't really spit that like that. But the 5-star represents any street organization that under that measure, that's under that decree, and the 6-point star represents any organization that is under the 6-point star and under the 8 decree. So, you know, it's several street gangs is under the 6, and it's several street gangs is under the 5. And we all allies. If you're under the 5, we allies. If you're under the 6, they allies. Black Peace Stones.
We don't like each other.
And we don't like each other. I can't just say we don't like each other. You know, it's history. It's a history of blood. So you can't just clean that up in one setting. So yeah, we don't like each other.
Okay. So obviously you're in the UK.
Absolutely.
So what brought you here?
What brought me here was, you know, like I met a few people over here online, and they told me that it was a beautiful lifestyle over here. So I said, okay, especially for black people that, you know, that wasn't from here. So I went, come over here to check it out. Met a female. She told me, you know what I mean, we linked up, we got into a relationship with each other, and that really sealed the deal and why I came over here. So
how did you meet her?
Online,
you know. Fellas, watch them walls.
Okay. Where was you met her?
I was in a penitentiary.
Oh, you was in prison?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so how did that happen?
Just Facebook, and, you know, Facebook, Messenger, you know, all that type of stuff, Instagram, you know, and we linked up.
And you came
start kicking it back
to come and meet her.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're still together.
Yeah, at this current moment we are.
Good news. But I've always wondered with the whole gang stuff. What's your thoughts about it? Is it something that you would recommend?
Absolutely.
You would actually recommend someone to go into the gang culture, knowing the prison sentences, the struggle you have to deal with the police, the people trying to shoot at you.
See, the thing is that I actually joined this street organization based on the values and principles that it stands for. Like, these street organizations got concepts that's equivalent to any other constitution that people live by. If I read off the United States Constitution right now and then read off the literature in the Black Peace Stone Nation, it sounds like the same person wrote it. And to join what if I joined the American military and had to go over and killing and bloodshed and dying, and if you get caught in other countries over there, you going to jail? Would I recommend that to my son if I was part of it? Absolutely, because I stand for it. I was willing to go for it. You know what I mean? I was willing to go through it. These organizations is based on uplifting their people. Now, it might seem like from the outside looking in that that's not the agenda, but the agenda is to uplift black people.